Hey guys, Veteran here, Independent Traders Guild, and want to welcome everyone to 2023. This is the first video. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope your first week was well. Did not have time to do weekend analysis last week because we were traveling. So I'm going to go ahead and start. In front, we've got a 4-hour chart on ES, and I've got lines drawn, levels drawn, and we're going to dive into it. We've got about we got about 2 hours until the futures market opens, so here goes nothing. I'm zoomed out. One, I want everybody to see um, the high year, low year, which is the colored Fibonacci's here. You can see that I've got levels that are drawn from it. Just want to get everybody kind of glued in on what we've got. We got a high time frame from the August high. That's kind of a supply zone. Important because we got a fib here, and I'll do that extension later. I don't need to do it yet. And then we got another fib here, the 43.21, and that was the August high in that vicinity. So we've got two fib levels inside high time frame supply up in the 4300s, not coming into play this month. Could in the second or third quarter, and we'll be looking for that. As we drop down, we've got the 8.8 extension from the August high. Those are purple. The dark colored 41.87 is that is from the COVID low. Here I've got a green line called liquidity, and that was the spike high that we experienced in December. And that's right around 41.80. And again, in the event that we get through certain zones, that's where we're going to be looking to get up to. The halfback from the high year to the low year for 2022 is 41.55, and that's what I've got labeled is our current higher time frame supply zone. And so we've got a fib, the halfback from the high year to the low year, and we got the 786 at 41.43, and that was from the August high to the October lows. So again, we've got two fib levels, and then we got a liquidity break up here above this higher time frame supply, and then we've got this white trend line. And again, I adjusted it to the November highs right around December. We spiked through it. We came back. If you wanted, you could probably draw it to I wouldn't use the spike high, but you could probably draw it to here, being that the candle bodies were in this supply zone, and this would be again, you're splitting hairs, but we've got a real good trend line here. I'm gonna get rid of this aqua trend line. I don't think it's currently relevant. And then we're going to get down, and so I'm going to kind of zoom in, and I've got our levels here as we zoom in and really dig a little bit deeper into the market for this week. And so where are we? Well, we've been in this huge balance area, and that's what happens. The market will, find a balance, impulse up, find a balance. These are bull flags on the way up, and then we spiked high. This becomes significant because in the event that we break through, all this, there's a lot of garbage in here that this market needs to go through. The VIX, mainly the dollar, mainly the DXY, mainly the bonds, and then the VIX. The bonds had a remarkable move and shift in rates. We've got some dry shipping stuff that occurred globally Thursday, Friday that caused some pain for folks. A lot of stuff happened last week, so we've got the dollar, the bonds, and VIX, the volatility that are all three just really prep for a big move. So as we zoom in, we've got this higher time frame. Let's not worry about it today because I don't think that's going to play into effect this week. I lost my drawing. Although the high, the PWG high, is 40.77, which puts us, which is crazy, guys. This supply zone is drawn off the charts, just straight technical analysis off what the charts are telling us. This stuff is all algorithmic math. So ES, we're talking 40.93. The second line is the PWG high, 40.93. Puts you right at this peak, believe it or not. So right at this trend line would basically be 40.93. That's a PWG high, and you guys are going to have this on your chart tomorrow. If the PWG high on your chart tomorrow is different, that's because there was a gap in the futures, and that's fine. We're going to track the gaps and see which one is going to give us be more favorable for us. Then we move over to PVI, and the PVI's got the high of 41.27, and that just means that if we push this trend line or we breach this gap at say 41.93 PWG high, we're gonna push. PWG's got us going back up and pushing beyond into this supply zone higher than the December high. Actually, the December high, but not the December spike high. So just to kind of give everybody an idea, that's where the levels are suggesting. Now, that's if we get up there. What do we got to get through first? A lot. Okay, first we got a lot of garbage here. We've got the 4,000, which is the 618 off the purple here, 4004. That's the 618 from the August high. And then we got 4001, which is the 382 from the high of 22, the high of 22 to the low of 22. Okay, and then we come back down to our balance zone, and this is really where I want to deal. I don't want to eliminate and omit the downside, because the downside is very real. Now, what we have down here, we have our higher time frame, which we entered back in October. We spiked down, and we still have this zone, and we've not retested this zone since we moved back through it. We will retest this zone this year. I can almost guarantee you. I know there are a lot of us that are looking to buy 37.30, 37.50 longer term puts for the year, but we got some ways to go before this comes into play. Then the next key level is the 236, which is 36.88, and that's off the August October high. So if I look at pricing, we start looking at 36.80. We're at 37.33 on PWG as our low, and that would put us somewhere in this vicinity. Probably need to move this up here, because I love to just get the math, PWG math, 37.33, and then see where that lines up on a chart. What I'll just do is I'll just do this. I'll just create a gray line, and I'll put 37, just so we can kind of see ballpark where it's going to be. It doesn't need to be a 2 or a 1 point. So that is what PWG is saying we're going to get to. I'm going to clone it. I'm going to color it blue because we already know we got blue. And I'm going to go ahead and put in PWG low for ES, and that's 36.89.25. And so PWG is actually inside. Wow, that's crazy. What caught me is 36, guys, again, the math, 36.89.25 matches up. It's a 1 point, 1.25 point from the 236 fib. Can't make it up. Again, I just drew these lines. The PWG, guys, I posted that, or the PVI, I posted it this morning. Crazy. So PWG's here and PVI's here. And the difference is if we break down, we got CPI, we got some big data this week. If we do break down, I'd look for the market to quickly roll back over. We could drop significantly, but I don't anticipate per se. But let's see what happens with futures. Now, to get down to the PWG levels, to get down to the PVI levels, in this zone, what are we got to deal with? Well, we're gonna zoom in here and really spend some time, some quick time, because we're already at 9 minutes. But we're gonna look at what do we got. We got the 3802, the dark gray line, 3802. That was the 382 from the COVID lows. Okay, and then we got a purple line, and the purple line is the 386 from the August high. And again, that price is somewhere in this vicinity. And then 3810 was the 236 from the 2022 high and low. Again, we had 3 huge Fibonacci levels, technical levels. that we ran into this last week. And I know Keith was talking about, he knew he didn't know where we were going to bounce, that we were going to bounce necessarily, but he knew kind of to the tick where we're going to go. Well, when we start talking about ticks, and this is what happens when you do your homework. And again, I didn't share this with you guys. Wasn't at home last weekend. But guys, this is a 4-hour chart. This demand zone has been drawn, and it has been in place since December the 19th. Guys, we literally, talk about pin the tail on the donkey right there. Look at that. That's pretty freaking amazing that we hit it, Friday morning. And that was the low Friday morning on the non-farm payrolls, and it literally to the tick hit the bottom end of our demand zone, and then we launched. Well, I wasn't expecting us to launch all the way up into supply. I got confession, I wasn't. Rick and I, we were talking about us getting up to 3870, which would have been in this zone, and we hit it off that first spike, and then we came back and retested demand, and then it shot up. And so the market gave us an opportunity to get in, to wait for the open. After the open, the market came back, price down in here, and then it launched. Again, if coulda, shoulda, woulda, if we could replay Friday over again, we'd all make just stupid money. That's not the way it works. So this is what we've got here, and this is where we finished. We actually finished in supply, and it's shorter term supply, but it's still supply for the last 4 weeks. And so I don't know what's going to transpire. I'm going to do something in a minute I've never done on video before we close out. But so we're in a box, and so futures is going to dictate some stuff. We do have the halfback from the August high to the October lows at 39.0675. That's the purple line. We do have that, and then we've got this other level, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of time. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on this baby, because this is what becomes real important, and what I'm seeing. Okay, we got overhead higher time frame supply. We got the downsloping trend line. We've got price action. We've got two levels here. One is the high year, low year. One is August high, October lows for this past year. And then we're in supply, and right up here, we've got an area that if you go down to 1 hour, that's really where I drew it from. But you start looking at this area, it's not a supply zone. This area is a transition zone, and it's usually hard to see them. It's hard to see them on the charts and define them. Again, you can see there's kind of some supply, some demand here, and then we launched higher, and then where demand in this zone, and it could be here. You could draw demand or supply here, but where supply becomes resistance. You guys have seen me talk about transition areas. Well, this big 4-hour candle to this big 4-hour candle, there's a transition zone here. Right now it's resistance. But you can bet your bottom dollar if we clear 39.43, 39.42, and 39.52, if we clear this 10-point range, we're going here. There's nothing else in here. There's a little bit in here, but guys, we're going to go up, and this gap that occurred in December, we're gonna attack it. I'm gonna tell you right now. So we're gonna push to 39.90. This gives us a great opportunity to play calls, long calls on ES and on SPX in the event that we can breach this 10-point resistance zone above supply. If we can get through, I don't think we're gonna get through there this week, but I don't know. But if we do get through there, we're gonna launch and we're gonna get up there. Okay. In the event, and I'll know what the weekly pivot is. Again, that's based off Friday's close. I'll get a new weekly pivot. It's going to go higher, but I need the market to open rather than me compute it. I'm just going to wait for the futures market to open tonight, and I'll be able to calculate it and share it with the group. In the event that we drop down and we get down in here and we hold demand zone, I would look for a late week push higher. Can we get down below it? Yeah. If we get below one, two, three key Fibonacci support areas, if we get below those, you guys, we're going to drop to 37. We're going to drop to 37, 33. You know that. So you already know. You got some zones that we're going to and a highlight. And I'm going to do a good job, a better job. I'm going to do my best on stream this week is to call these out when I see them. In the event that we do retrace back down, I'll be looking to get long somewhere between 38.50 and 38.20. I'd be taking longs. I think we're probably, if I were a bet man, I would probably go to the low of last week was Tuesday. The high was obviously Friday. I'm going to color them yellow. I'm going to take off everything but, I need to keep that. I'm going to take off all but the halfback and the 618. And I'll tell you all that right now is I'm a buyer probably somewhere around 58 to 71. In the event that we retrace back down in futures tonight, I'll be looking to take some swing longs here into the early part of the week. If the market opens and we keep going down, that it's in this green box that I'm going to want to be a buyer. Now, I said I was going to do one thing. I'm going to do it real quick. We're at 16 minutes. I'm going to go down. Guys, I'm having a blast doing this. I got to be honest. But I need you guys to, I need you to manage your risk, position size, your stop loss, and your trade management. I need y'all to do a real good job there because I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive in calling out this stuff. But if we work here, we see how we close Friday. We go to a 15-minute chart. Nothing changed except we went down to a 15-minute chart. Okay, and again, we drew that line just now. Yeah, y'all were with me when I draw it. If I drop it down to a 5-minute chart, what does that look like? Are we flagging? So what ended up happening is we spiked up and we hit it. Look at what time we hit it, 3:15, and then we came down, 3:30. We pushed back up, 3:45. We made a lower high at 3:45, and then we sold off into the close. There was the 1600, and now we've gone flat. So what's going to transpire in 2 hours is this market's going to move, and we're going to know. And obviously we know we're going to be trading somewhere. You know, if I had to draw a box, I would say we're going to trade between that 39.28 and we're going to trade down to this 39.06, this level. And I personally think we're going to trade in that box tonight during the futures market. Could we break out? Yeah. If we break out, I mean, just look to the left. If we do fail this box or fail the 39.06, look left. Where's the first level of support? First level of support's right here. And I have no idea why. We triggered here at 12:55. I don't know why. I mean, some of y'all might. Order flow, volume profile. It might be a volume node. There might be open interest. Might be order flow. I don't know. But for some reason, 38.86 becomes the next one. Well, I mean, guys, that's 20 points. That's 20 points that in the event that we drop, obviously, you work swing high and swing low. And so, the swing high on that move was right there. So if you wait for 3,900 to break, we're going to go to 38.86. I mean, you can put some money on that one. If we break below there, then we're going to work right down to Friday, the pre-market highs, or 850, the pre-market highs. So, I mean, if I draw these lines, I'm like, okay, if we fail 3,900, we're going to 86, we're going to 76, and then we're going to enter the zone. And I don't know where this weekly pivot's going to be, so it's just there. I'll adjust that. But guys, this is what we're looking for. And if this fails, and that weekly pivot's going to be somewhere up in here. I'll tell you that. It's going to be somewhere, probably pretty high up. Anyways, wherever the consolidation we break through, I'm going to be looking for us to roll over and hit this one, and then hit this one, and then test this zone. And in this zone, I'm looking to take longs. I'll be looking to take longs. Um, and then if we fail it, again, you're starting talking about 58 to 71. This is a 13 wide zone, a 13 and a half wide zone. So I don't want to take it right at it. But I want to go and see, and then I want to look at volume profile. I want to see if there are ledges in there, if there's any um, you know high volume nodes, low volume nodes in there to give me a better time to time entry. If we get below this, then we're going to go down here. And we're not going to stop right at that green box. I mean, that box is just a sign. I'm going to look left and I'm going to see over here. We had this huge doji. We got this candle Friday morning. This base of the candle pre-market. That's probably a good idea. So 43 would be the first place I would look at. And again, that's just how I'm kind of leaning for the week. Again, the dollar is the most conspicuous indicator out there, and I think it's going to control the market this week. Are we going to drop down into the 101s, 102s? If so, the market's going to be pushing, and we're probably going to test this, push through this resistance and get higher. If we hold 103 to 105, I think we're going to stay somewhat range bound. If the dollar pushes up above 105.80, 106.20, again, I'll do this on the dollar myself. Probably later tonight when futures open. But if the dollar pushes up above 106 or 105.80, 106, 107.20, then we're going to be testing. We're going to be testing down here, boys. And then if the dollar pushes 107, then we're going to be down to, we're going to be well below, and we're going to be targeting, those PVI levels that we posted earlier. So, hope this helped. I'm open for questions. I did request all the members that joined us since November. If I didn't send you a friend request, you're not accepting them on Discord. So I can't reach out to you and DM. But the whole reason was not to bother you. The whole reason is so that you guys know that my DMs are open for you guys. You guys are paying a monthly fee. And we want you to get the most out of it. And if you're not talking, you're not asking questions, and you're getting frustrated, I want to extend the invitation to reach out to me, and let me help you help yourself. Again, we only succeed when you guys succeed, and the way you guys can succeed is for us to be able to help you generate profits to pay for your membership, your monthly fees. That's it. It's that simple. I think this week's going to be it's going to be a wild week. It's going to be volatile. We'll be doing some different stuff, broken wing butterflies, etc. I'll be selling credit and debit spreads, and probably playing heavy futures at the start. I'm gonna probably put $15,000-$20,000 of profit back on the line because I made it last week, and I'm just going to keep using about 25 to 30% of the profits I made the previous week, and I'm going to keep playing with house money as long as I can keep winning. So with that, guys, I am out. I'll see everybody at 1800 Eastern, and be there, be square. Peace.